Hi everybody, welcome back to Home and Haven Farms. My name is Brittany and today we're going to be discussing probably the saddest thing that we've had happen on our homestead so far, and that would be the results of our pig farrowing. Shout out to my youngest daughter, Ostara. She did my makeup and asked that I do not take it off and that I use it and wear it for the video. So thank you, Lovey. Hopefully it doesn't detract from the purpose of this video. So for anybody who hasn't been following along, we were expecting piglets from two of our pigs. One of them was BB, who was about a 3.5-year-old sow. She had had 2 or 3 other proven litters, and she was a wonderful mother. And we had Anne, who was a first-time gilt and new mother. And we had a feeling that our piglets would start coming as soon as the temperatures dropped, and unfortunately we were very right. We ended up having temperatures that were into the negatives, the daytimes as low as -4 degrees, and some of the evenings into the negative teens. And the girls started farrowing the night of the solstice, and then into the very early hours of the morning, BB initially started having piglets. So BB was our experienced sow, and she was the one who had been proven to have big, large litters, and she was a good mom to all of those litters. Unfortunately, she had a couple of piglets get stuck and hold things up, so her labor was prolonged and uncomfortable. And because of her large size, because she was an older pig, she ended up doing the best that she could, but she ended up squishing any of the piglets that were born live. She did have 3 very healthy looking piglets, and I'll try to include some pictures. And BB was a Hampshire pig and she had all of the characteristics of the Hampshire, but she was also crossed with a red wattle. And about half of her little piglets that she did give birth to had those little red wattles. They were so very cute and very sweet, but all of her piglets that were born, any of the ones that didn't freeze to death or were stillborn, ended up getting smashed. So it was really sad. It's actually pretty common to process a sow before she's about as old as BB was, and it was kind of a hard lesson for us to realize that's probably why people process sows sooner than later, because sows will continue growing, and it's not that they're bad mothers, it's just they're so large and their piglets are so small, and it's not like they're having a couple piglets. And some pigs do have small litters, but BB was known to have large litters. So even though she had some piglets out and she was doing her best to be careful, she still had to give birth to the rest of her litter. BB had 13 piglets. We think about half of them were born live, but most of them froze, and the ones that didn't ended up getting smashed. Anne was our first-time mother, and she was an is an unregistered IPP, Idaho pasture pig, and she ended up having 5 piglets. 2 of them were stillborn. 3 of them were beautiful Idaho pasture pigs, absolutely beautiful coloring, beautiful little squatty noses, and unfortunately they also ended up getting smashed. Some of the things that we think could maybe help in the future if we do decide to farrow pigs would be, for sure, to do scheduled breeding and just keep any boars separate before we are ready. Also think that having even a large enclosure that we could section off to separate mothers probably would have helped too, because because with the area that we had, the girls were just sitting very, very tightly together to keep warm. We had temperatures as low as it has been in many years, and they were all just doing their best to keep warm, and unfortunately we lost every single piglet. So we had, I think, 17 or 18 piglets, and we ended up losing both litters. Anne was a first-time mother, and Mary had Calico, and she actually lost her whole litter except for Calico, who I nursed back up to health and everything. And neither of those girls, being that they were first-time moms, they didn't really seem to skip a beat after they lost their piglets. They just kind of carried on. But BB, being that BB had 2 or 3 litters before this round of piglets, she really took losing the litter hard, and just for days she wouldn't do anything except get up to go to the bathroom, drink, and she just started eating again, but she wouldn't really do a whole lot, and I think it's because she's really sad. So unfortunately, we lost all of these piglets. The reason why we did not move Calico in with the girls yet was because we were waiting for them to farrow. It is not uncommon for piglets who are a little bit older to go in and suck off the milk from new mothers, and if we were going to be having piglets, we didn't want him skimming off any of the colostrum that would have helped those piglets to survive and thrive. Now that we don't have any piglets except for our young Calico Jack, we are going to be going ahead and moving his little IBC tote in with the ladies. That way, if Calico does want some space from the big mamas, he can go and have a safe space, but he will then be able to be around the other pigs all the time, and we're just going to move him right in with them. I'm sure BB will feel better over time, but I'm hoping that maybe having Calico there, he's not a brand new baby pig, but he is a spunky little thing, and maybe having a youthful little piglet will help her feel better and give her a chance to kind of mother and love a little rambunctious piggy. The camera was freezing a little bit. But that is our pig update as far as our piglets go. And it was something that was really sad. I think if we do decide to farrow in the future again, we'll just maybe make more space for the pigs, give them more space, and there is only so much you can do when those temperatures are very, very cold and piglets start dropping. So maybe scheduled breeding in the future if that's something that we decide to do, if we want to keep pigs later on. So that's the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching. It wasn't a super happy one or anything like that, but it's a reality on a homestead. Loss is a very natural part of life. It's part of the circle of life, and sometimes it hits us harder and stronger during some time frames, and this was just one of them. So the situation is what it is, and we're going to do the best with what we have. Thank you guys for watching. If you like these videos, consider liking and subscribing, or leaving us some of your thoughts down below in the comments. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.